Hey everybody, welcome to SNH Podcast where I'm Jared and the flock I got.
Me dash.
And I'm Steph.
Oh god, there we go. We'll get it. I did the long hands. I was gonna go Stephanie first, but whatever. So we are at 92 subscribers. Thank you guys. We're trying to hit a hundo. So if you could hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff, throw it at your friends, tell them you'll unfriend them. They won't get their Christmas present unless they subscribe to SNH Podcast. That's called negotiation right there. Yep. But yeah, so today we have our top 10 Christmas movies, and it's just movies that are around Christmas, right? Otherwise, I totally did my list wrong.
No, it was all movies for 4th of July.
Oh, all right. Well, my list is null and void. I'm gonna go hang out with the birds. No, so we got a great episode where we're gonna show you guys some shit, and we're gonna dive right into it. I don't know who's starting because I didn't get that far.
I'm starting.
Dash is starting.
Before I do that, I have got it. My head is burning up, so I'm gonna take my holiday hat off.
No,
look. Do you see where my headphones are?
I don't care.
They're over. Everything is quiet to me. Everything is quiet.
Everything sounds like this to him. There we go. Put your hat on. I got my green hat on. That's about as festive as I'm gonna get. I'm sorry. Well, I'm wearing my roots.
That's the hat that you usually wear. This is the hat that I usually wear. I'm always repping Cleveland here. Even though I'm a Durham boy, I always represent my Cleveland sports.
I keep Christmas in my heart. I don't have to wear a hat.
No.
my list is not very festive, so this is about as festive as it gets.
That was sappy and cringe.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I actually had a lot of fun with this list. People who know me know I'm not a big Christmas person whatsoever. I am very much a Grinch. Yeah, but I had a lot of fun going and digging into like Christmas and holiday movies. I'm gonna start us off strong. My number 10 is Jingle All the Way. I fucking love this movie. The search for Turbo Man between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. Just a great all around holiday shopping movie. I think it's kind of died down. Shopping has, especially now, so much more stuff is online. And when that movie came out, there wasn't really online shopping as much. True. So people were.
You should have seen Walmart today, big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I almost doubled back because I was like, that is too much. So
don't worry, we're still mindless consumers.
Yeah.
Christmas. Oh, that's very cynical.
Yeah.
I mean, Jingle All the Way has the awesome esteem of being filmed for about 5 weeks in Minneapolis and St. Paul. So that was going to be one of my honorable mentions, specifically because it is filmed in Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Mall of America. The winter parade is actually a version of our Holidazzle parade, which I highly recommend anybody come to Minneapolis and see the Holidazzle parade. It's an all electric lights parade. It's beautiful to see. So I love that film just because it celebrates my hometown.
Awesome. All right, let's pass it on over to Stephanie. What's your number?
Gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you short. Did you have more to say, bud?
Oh, I really don't.
Oh.
What else do you need to say about that?
I mean,
Jingle All the Way. All I remember from that movie is that Conan O'Brien would always have his Robert Smigel as Arnold Schwarzenegger on his late night show, and he'd always have to get in the phrase "Jingle All the Way," or however I can't quite do a Schwarzenegger impression.
It's all good. All right.
So anyways,
your number 10?
My number 10. So this is kind of a recent one. It's from 2011. This is a very adorable little film with lots of actually, I think, pretty good action. It's totally animated. It stars James McAvoy as Arthur Christmas. You guys ever seen this movie, Arthur Christmas?
No.
It's a kid's movie. It's one of those. It's not a. I actually looked up the animation studio. I can't remember if it's DreamWorks or I know it's not Pixar, but it's like DreamWorks or one of those smaller subsidiary animation studios. But it's a really cute movie where Arthur Christmas has to find this gift that this little girl's gift got missed in the whole razzmatazz of Santa getting presents to everybody. And so Arthur is going on a mission with Grand Santa to get this little girl her gift. And it's a simple little story, but it's really a good little movie because the elves like rappel down lines like there's, I don't know, SEAL Team 6 or something to deliver all the presents. And there's this big, huge spacecraft that Santa has to do all the present giving. And it's James McAvoy, who's always adorable. And like Bill Nighy is in it. And he's always a great great to hear. Hugh Laurie's in it. It's like a big cast of characters, one of those, heavily highly casted sort of animated movies, but it's really cute. It's a simple story. It's great for kids, great for adults, good jokes. I think it's a lovely little film, Arthur Christmas. So that's my number 10.
You you gave me inspiration for my honorable mention, which I didn't have, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
I'm
Dash,
here for you, buddy.
How many honorable mentions do you have?
94.
I'm gonna go
12.
with 12.
Beat you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9.
8.
Okay.
So, but again, as they're being named throughout your list and everything, I am marking those out. So I think that's why I do that. That way,
you have extra.
I have extra. So
okay.
That's very fair.
It's a good idea. Well, that was my number 10. So Jared, we're going to you for your number 10.
We're going all the way back to 1972.
Ooh.
I know. I actually did research on this shit one. I did research. You're not going to be proud of me in a second. So we're going to go for The Godfather from 1972.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm with Dash here. Like Christmas is kind of meh to me. Like I'm not big into the whole Christmas stuff. Like basically if I can get away with just like hanging out with the family and being like, I love you guys and get away with it, that's all I want to do. But it's got legend after legend in the movie. Marlon Brando, who's notorious for never memorizing any of his lines, Apocalypse Now. Sorry about that. He's the star of the show. I think it's a masterpiece of a movie. And then according to IMDb, which is where I get all of my recommendations, because I Googled Christmas movie set in Christmas. It technically took place during Christmas. So boom, Christmas movie, one in the books.
Yep. I guess that counts.
No.
Poor
Dash, have you seen The Godfather?
You've seen
have not. I actually spoke about this on the very first episode of Shorts and
for
Hoodies.
one. Wow.
Way back in March. And Josh and Joey from Gingerflix, shout out to Joey and Josh. And back then we only did a top 5, and Joey had his Godfather was on his list as one of the top movie franchises. And still haven't seen it.
Wow.
One for one.
Hadn't seen it now. So yeah.
I've never seen Godfather Part 2.
I don't know what it is because I love gangster movies. Like if it's mob, mafia, any kind of thing like that, it doesn't matter what generation it's in, I'm there. Like probably one of my absolute favorite like drama TV shows is The Sopranos. And it's like, I don't know why. And I think what it is the overhype of it, which is the same reason I still haven't seen Citizen Kane.
Okay.
So it's just because it's like that's a lot to live up to.
Yeah, well, that's bullshit though, because you went and watched Spider-Man No Way Home, and the hype for that was real.
It was huge.
That was some hype.
I like Spider-Man though, I do.
It feels like this podcast is Jared and I calling Dash out on his bullcrap.
Oh, just wait. It'll come back around. I'll say something in a couple episodes, and Dash will be like, hey, I remember
Sorry
this.
about it, buddy.
Okay.
Wait a second, you guys ready? Dash, you're up, big guy. I got it right this time.
All right. My number 9, I said it in the beginning of the show. I rep them. I try to rep them every week. This is a Cleveland movie. And the one thing to set this movie apart than any other Christmas movie, in my opinion, because when you see it, you know what it's from. This movie has so many lines that you can pull from, whether it's, oh, fudge, but I didn't say fudge. It's The Leg Lamp. We're talking about A Christmas Story. It's such a wrong movie. Like,
why?
That's so right.
Like it is. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so wrong. It's so right. Like it pushed the boundaries of like really dark humor. For a Christmas movie, especially too. But then to see Peter Billingsley have grown up now, and still friends with Jon Favreau. We've seen him in Elf. We've seen him in the MCU movies. We saw him in Far From Home. It's just really awesome. I think probably my favorite role that he was ever in was The Breakup.
Oh, was he in that?
Yeah, he was one of the best friends of like a Jennifer Aniston and Vince
I've
Vaughn.
never seen it.
Great movie. Great
sure.
movie.
All I remember is that was like when they were dating or something at the time, and
Yep.
and then they broke up, and then there's a movie they break up, and that's all I remember about that movie.
Yep. But I mean,
Anyways.
from him having to wash his mouth out with soap, to the tongue stuck on the flagpole, to you'll shoot your eye out. I remember just and it's one of those things too, like it like makes me like get like all thinking about the way the elves and Santa looked.
Creepy.
Like very creepy. So yeah, that's my number 9, A Christmas Story, rep in Cleveland.
Classic, absolutely classic.
Love it.
I've
love
seen
it, love
that
it.
way too many times, and I
Yeah.
don't even like it.
Well, it was
You
one of
guys
those
ever-
things. There was one of those things that like every Christmas that came on TBS, like it was a Christmas Story marathon every year.
Yep, I was just
And
going
then
to
they
mention
broke it
that.
up one year. They broke it up one year and was like, we're going to do Fred Claus all year. And they did it for like 2 hour or 2 runnings. And then they switched it to A Christmas Story because nobody was watching.
Good
Probably
on
got
them.
calls like, where's the Christmas Story?
Yeah. So what were you going to say,
Good on
Stephanie?
That's exactly what I was going to say. That I remember. That's my overarching memory of A Christmas Story is, where am I going to catch it on TBS in the 24-hour marathon? Am I going to catch it at the beginning, catch it towards the middle, towards the end? Like, let's see where it's on, where we're at the marathon right now. So I love that movie. It's great.
Yeah. Just that,
It-
oh, fudge. But I didn't say fudge. It's just like,
It's like-
the way he says it is so funny to me.
It's a super tradition in my family. My stepdad at the end of the day will like turn on TV, and of course he finds a Christmas movie, and then whatever Christmas movie is playing, my mom sits down and like we just sit there and watch it. I'm like, I hate Christmas movies like this. I don't know. It's just like it's you guys have seen Hot Rod, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Parts of
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Like it's just like you watch it one time and you're like, that's good, and you try to watch it the second time, you're like, ooh, can't get past it, can't do it again. That's how I am with Hot Rod. Like it was hilarious the first time, but the second time through, I'm like, no, thank you.
I've seen Hot Rod probably like 15 times, and it gets better every single time to me.
I don't know how you stand that. It just some of those moments are just so cringy. It just makes my skin tingle.
I don't know.
That's actually a different thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, fuck you too. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you, Stephanie. That's
All
great.
right, all right, Stephanie. What's your?
I don't know what I just said. All right, so my number 9 is a classic. It's technically a short film. It's not very long, but it is an absolute classic. And I'm not talking about the more recent ones starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Jim Carrey. This is the OG, the original short film of How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Ooh,
I mean, it's got the most brutal diss track in all of music created for this. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. It's a whole diss track telling the Grinch why he's a piece of shit the whole way through the song. It's fantastic. Plus, the narrator and the Grinch is an absolute legend of film, Mr. Boris Karloff, who, if you don't know who that is, Jared, that is the OG Frankenstein, one of the originals of the Hammer horror and the Universal monster universe, along with like Bela Lugosi and Vincent Price and all those old, monster movie actors.
nice.
A great voice of Boris Karloff as the Grinch and as the narrator. And then the diss track. It's brilliant. The animation is adorable and simple. It looks like the Dr. Seuss book, right? It's got the same style of animation as the Dr. Seuss book. You know me, I love my old school animation. So that's like my tradition is I have to watch that. And shout out to my friend Brian out there, who's a keyboard player, a singer, and a good friend of mine. We're a duo together. We've done this song live. I've heard him sing it live several times, so it always brings me back to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I love that little short film.
God, you're right. That is such a diss track.
It's such a diss track. It's
Oh my
so
God.
good. Those little interludes of like, I wouldn't touch you with a 20-foot pole and all this stuff. Like, oh, it's so brutal. Poor Grinch.
No wonder he's so mad.
Exactly, right? It's like Oscar the Grouch. Why, Oscar, you're such a grouch. Like, what's the Dave Chappelle skit from Killing Him Softly? I live in a fucking trash can. I'm the poorest motherfucker on Sesame Street. Ain't nobody helping me. It's the same sort of thing, right? They all treat Grinch like shit, and they're like, "Well, why are you so mean to us, Grinch?" Well,
Yeah.
anyways,
We're on TV. I ain't seen none of that money.
exactly. So That's my number 9. Jared, we're going to you for your number 9.
We're gonna go forward a little bit in time here to 1998. Little movie with Dave Chappelle, Meg Ryan, and Tom Hanks. You've Got Mail.
Oh, nice.
Apparently, there's like a really moving scene where like she's in Christmas or whatever. But like, I love how this story has so many red flags in it. Because like, I remember I watched the movie and I was like, oh, it's kind of a cute love story, you know? And of course, I watched this while I was deployed. This was actually on the same deployment that I watched The Notebook, which is a movie I thought I'd never watch. Because I think it's The Notebook's the one where the soldier goes off to war, right?
I've never seen it. I intentionally will never see this. It's Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling is The Notebook.
Dash, you gonna back me up on this, or?
I'm trying to remember if he went off to war. I want to say he did because
because he was a soldier, and then her dad had cancer, and then he sold like his dad's pin collection or quarter collection that like paid for like experimental treatment for her new husband or whatever. I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked.
You're totally off track.
Yeah, that is not The Notebook.
Okay, then what? It was some.
No, The Notebook was.
She has like Alzheimer's, doesn't she?
No, he was like a poor boy, and she was part of a rich family. Mama said no, you can't date him and everything, so they moved or whatever. He ended up buying this house because this was the house like they first, and then he bought the house, and then flipped it or whatever, cleaned it up and shit. And he like wrote her every day, and she was like, "Why didn't you write me?" He was like, "I wrote you every day for a year." And that's like the big, like them kissing in like the rain and all this stuff. And like, it turns out like mom had been like bogarting all the letters that he wrote and everything. And then, they,
So it sounds like he has seen The Notebook.
I love The Notebook.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
The Notebook. Well, then it was a totally different movie then.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
So anyways, You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail.
Yeah.
I just like.
Is that why you brought it up? Because You Got Mail. It's about mail.
Maybe, possibly. I don't. The only mail I get is bills. No, you're right. It's just the movie has so many red flags for like the dating scene. Because I had to reread the synopsis because I kind of remembered what it was about, but I had a very different idealization of what it was about from when I watched it. And I'm like, there are so many fucking red flags in this movie for it to be like a Christmassy kind of love story that starts right around this bookstore. I'm like, this would never fly today. Never in a million years with Hollywood with this, like, this is super tropey, and of course it has a brilliant happy ending because it's Hollywood. But like, I just can't believe that this was kind of a Christmassy movie and it had Dave Chappelle in it. So like, I was like, that's kind of cool. But I just like, I can't believe the spin that Hollywood used to take on like super big red flags that a girl would be like, I'm dropping them after one of those. And it's like you're raving Christmas flags in a Christmas parade with how many flags there are. So I think it's a great little mix of happy, kind of go lucky, Christmassy, happy stuff and blah, 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 blah. That's all I really had. I'm trying to extend something that's not there.
Can I tell you the pitch meeting for You've Got Mail? Hey, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks are great in Sleepless in Seattle. Let's get a movie with them together. There's the whole pitch of that movie, basically.
I mean, Meg Ryan was pretty damn cute back then too.
She's still super cute. Women are allowed to age.
Oh, that's not aging.
I'm not.
In her case, it's plastic surgery. Yeah. Well, that's again the problem is that women aren't allowed to age unless they've got amazing genes. They think they're not allowed to age. Their agents tell them they're not allowed. We're getting off. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. I apologize. It was an offhanded joke.
No, you're fine because there was a supermodel that was like, "Oh, aging is gone," and I'm like, "Dude, she's still like a supermodel quality. Like, I don't get what you're talking about. Like,
no, pretty good.
Like, if I could see some dudes who look like, no, it wasn't Cindy Crawford. It was like some super mega model way back in the day. But like, if I could see some dude on the runway who looks like me, repping some stuff, like I'd probably be more apt to buy it. You know what I mean?
Probably true.
Like, I don't know.
Wow. We are on a journey in this podcast.
I know. I'm taking us on journeys. I should just shut up and tell the story that I want to tell.
The snow.
Dash, get on that sleigh and make it all happen.
Dashing.
Speaking of journeys, if I can transition into my number 8.
Is it about journey?
It is about a journey.
No.
A journey of a huge, huge family that left one little boy behind.
This fucking
and did it again. and then they might have done it again, but I didn't. Number 2 was just not that good. It's Home Alone. Home Alone is such a good. I'm sorry, it's a great. It's just a great fucking movie. John Hughes, yes.
Chris Columbus.
I always get those mixed up for some reason.
Chris Columbus is doing his Hughes impression, I think, in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the age difference was for me and Kevin McAllister, but it was like I want to maybe 5 years, 4 or 5 years or whatever. But I could still like kind of relate to that. Like, what would I do if my parents left?
You turn into a psychopath and try to torture a bunch of burglars.
Like that big old house too. Oh, yeah.
I've driven by that house.
The side story with the homeless man and him reconnecting with his family and all this stuff, and it's just heartwarming. And then that damn Buzz and his tarantula.
I
hate that kid.
Stephanie, when you said you drove by that house, you can actually rent the house, and I think Buzz comes back and introduces you to, like, he comes out for like the night or whatever, and he's like, you're in the McAllister house to have fun.
Interesting. I've only driven by it because it's outside of Chicago, but I think that's right. I know I've driven by it. I forget where I was, but I know I've driven by it. It is a beautiful house.
Yeah,
very beautiful house.
Yeah, and now they've like rebooted or whatever on Disney Plus, and I don't know.
Nah,
no
thanks.
But my question is, what did Kevin's dad do to afford that house on one income?
Mafia.
He must have been mafia.
Look at them suits he wore.
He was in with the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's gonna have
How
to.
do you? Well, what if Catherine O'Hara is the one that had all the money?
OnlyFans was kicking it back then.
Catherine,
I got Stephanie.
He is a redhead. I mean, that's a niche.
It's one of those things too. One of those, I don't want to say few roles, but one of those standout roles that we remember Catherine O'Hara so vividly in. She ain't drunk in this movie. She's not playing that drunken, woman that we love to see her play.
She's lovely
she
in
plays
A Mighty
it straight,
Wind.
and I don't know. And I'll say this too: the casting on the mom and dad, on Catherine O'Hara and him, was so good. Was so good together. Like it was a believable. Like this was their family, and I hated the uncle. I hated Buzz.
Uncle Frank.
God, I hated their family. But especially Uncle Frank and Buzz.
Dicks. Total dicks.
Yeah. How you gonna act like that to Kevin? I mean, granted, he's a dick too.
The family of dicks.
Yeah.
Christmas with the Dicks is what that should have been called.
Oh yeah. I saw that the other night.
We don't need to hear about your Pornhub subscription.
Stephanie, what is your number 8?
Well, speaking of Pornhub subscriptions, yes, that transition will make sense in a second. This is a movie that is, I think about every time I go into a dressing room, because I am a plus size gal. And you'll understand what I mean in a second, but it's definitely categorized by my favorite line in the whole movie. Fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa. This is bad Santa. The last role of the late, great John Ritter, who died in the middle of shooting the movie. And so Bernie Mac comes in to take over his role as the manager. Billy Bob Thornton, of course, as the awful Santa. I looked up the guy's name as his little helper, which is, I looked up his name. Crap. And I can't remember. His little partner, I can't remember his name now.
Partner in crime.
His little partner in crime, where they want to rip off department stores every year, these ex-cons, and they meet that little kid, and he, good night, Santa. Good night, Mrs. Santa's sister. There's so many good lines in this one. And for you, Jared, I looked up that the director, Terry Zwigoff, was born in Appleton, Wisconsin. So, I mean, there's a Scotty doing good in the industry. Good Scotty boy. The other film of his that I really like is a movie called Ghost World. If you guys seen that movie, it's based on the comic book series. It has a little baby Scarlett Johansson and Thora Birch starring as kids that answer a guy's dating ad, and it goes totally wrong.
Oh, that's a movie I probably don't want to watch then. No, I'm
Oh, it's
good.
actually really funny. It's a really funny
Okay,
movie.
maybe.
I think it feels a little bit Kevin Smithy. If I and
Ugh.
It's got Steve Buscemi in it.
Oh,
When I say
okay.
Kevin Smithy, I mean like just the irreverent style of humor, which obviously is in Bad Santa. This super
Oh,
irreverent humor. When I say I'm a plus size gal in the in a fitting room, I think of Billy Bob Thornton and his affinity for plus size ladies. And the it's
I
so
have so
funny.
many qualms and quarrels about that statement where you're like, I'm a plus size girl. Like, I I hate the size differential. Like, I just hate how there's.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't care.
I think it needs whatever. That's a whole other rant. But that was a very smooth
I'm a
transition.
large Amazon Viking gal, so I'm gonna be plus
You can
size no
just
matter
stop
what.
right now, please. Thank you. Let's just
I meant like that with my guns.
Dash. Can you get her to stop, dude? Can you get her to stop? Like,
Transition to Jared now.
thank you.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's a really funny movie, and Jared has a problem with things. So
I
let's
don't
go
have
to
a problem
Jared's
with the
number 8.
movie. I
God,
don't have a
Jared.
problem with the movie.
Stephanie, can you do something with Jared?
I'm gonna send it over to
Weird
Jared now.
fucking show today.
I have
Oh
no
my
idea how to
God.
get out of this.
Oh no, just so many rabbit holes that I want to go down, and we got to keep the show down because there's just I hate.
Stay
I'm
on
sorry.
target. Stay on
Thank-
target.
So 1984 is where we're going all the way back to.
It's not a Christmas movie.
What?
I was like
1984,
1984 is
not a Christmas movie.
No, it's not a Christmas movie, but it's Gremlins.
Oh,
Nice.
Gremlins. This is on my list for two reasons. Number one, it's technically a Christmas movie,
It is.
and two, it has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas. Like, I just think it's great. It takes place during Christmas, and what better time to scare the absolute living hell out of me? Like, I was so terrified watching this movie when I finally saw it because I think I was like 12 or something like that. I could not fathom the world if this, like, I thought this shit was real. It scared the Jesus out of me. Like, I slept with the lights on for a couple days. It was bad.
Pretty scary.
So Gremlins, yeah.
I had a little toy gizmo when I was a kid. I thought that was so cute. But here's a question. If you can't feed it after midnight, one, which time zone? Two, isn't it always after midnight? Right? Science.
She's got a point. She's got a point.
There's also that really weird monologue where the owl talks about the guy getting stuck in the chimney.
Mhm.
It's such a weird moment in that movie.
the Phoebe
Well,
Cates was really hot.
She is very hot.
Yeah.
I think it was, because like even eating like after like 7 or 8 o'clock was like super faux pas or like super bad. And that's probably what they were trying to stop with the subliminal messages and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Another Chris Columbus movie, if I remember correctly. But
John
I have
Hughes?
to remember.
John Hughes?
I don't know if it's a John Hughes. I
don't
don't think it's a John Hughes. I thought it was a Chris Columbus, but I could be wrong.
They're the same
be-
person to me. So.
It could be Robert Zemeckis. Any one of those 80s, 90s directors that got every job in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
Transitioning to the variant in the group, Dash, where are we at with your number 7, bud?
My number 7, I moved one. I'm doing some finagling over here. That's why you see me.
In typical Dash fashion.
Yes, and yeah. Originally this was on not on my list. Originally this was an honorable mention. And then as I'm glancing over here, I'm like, it gets more prevalent each time I look at that movie and then remembering it. Another movie that kind of, not really, but kind of does have something to do with Christmas. One of the greatest 90s 2000 cast. Let's just run through this. Timothy Oliphant, young. Katie Holmes. This was Dawson's Creek, like peak time. William Fichtner, Jay Moore, Scott Wolf. Again, this was like Party of 5 years. Tay Diggs early in his career. This was around like Rent time. Breckin Meyer.
I just love how everything's going over my head, and Stephanie's like, "Oh yeah, I dig this all."
I Tay Diggs him.
I would Tay Diggs him. this movie has one of the best like early EDM, it's techno soundtracks for a movie. This is the movie Go.
Oh, I've never seen this
If
movie.
you've never seen Go, it's broken up. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 4 stories. It's 3 or 4 different stories, and they all start at the same moment. One guy's getting ready his friends are going to Vegas. He's got to work. He's like, who can cover my shift? And everything like spins from that moment in time. And they end up going to Vegas, like going to a strip club. All this crazy shit happens, like shootouts, racing down the Vegas Strip. You have one character over here who ends up like almost ODing on ecstasy at this big rave. It's just insane. It's an insane movie, and it ends so just weird. It was part of like that same. If you ever seen the movie like Doom Generation and Donnie Darko,
Yeah.
I want to say it's like the same studios that did those, so they all had that same kind of feel to it. This one just happened to take place during Christmas time. That was it.
Have you
never seen it?
Have you guys seen those EDM dudes who like get up underneath a bridge and like have huge raves underneath there, and they're all in their punk regalia and stuff like that?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
And then somebody overlays like Christmas music with it or something like that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so hilarious.
The things you can do with a 128 BPM.
Oh my God, I love
So
it.
many
It's so
songs you
hilarious.
can do
Yeah,
with
I know. I would think it was like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" or something like that, and like they're raving out to it. I'm like, that's good. That's some good sauce right there. I like that.
Yeah. If you've
I like
never
that.
seen Go, it's another movie that's like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is another Christmas movie, that I highly recommend. Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Stephanie, you're number 7. Go.
All righty. Oh, Jared's leaving.
No, I'm not leaving. Just
No,
grabbing
I
my
didn't tell
phone.
you to
He's
go.
going. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
He misunderstood.
I have to give him my phones.
Well, this is another movie that has a lot of collection of scenes that kind of interweave across each other around Christmas time. Very star-studded cast, more current than the 90s cast you just referenced. This has, I'll go backwards. It's got Chiwetel Ejiofor. It's got Martin Freeman. It's got Keira Knightley, Emma Thompson, Colin Firth, Alan Rickman, Bill Nighy, Hugh Grant, and Liam Neeson. This is a movie that really shouldn't be as good as it is because speaking of red flags in the movie, there's lots of red flags going on in the movie. This is 2003's Love Actually.
Aw.
You know, it's one of those movies that it's like the sum of its parts and also greater than the sum of its parts. Like I can't really tell you what the movie's about per se, except that it's a bunch of these 8 couples or whatever and how they're navigating around Christmas time. But it's incredibly iconic, right? Everybody's seen the scene where Keira Knightley's looking at the dude and he's holding up the signs and I think you are perfect, that whole scene. There's a great musical number that happens where a little girl gets to sing Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas and she knocks it out of the park. But of course, my I shouldn't say favorite, but I think the most heartbreaking storyline in the whole movie is Alan Rickman buying the necklace for his girlfriend. There's that necklace scene with him and Rowan Atkinson, which is incredibly funny, which Rowan Atkinson's always great no matter what you put him in. But that heartbreaking scene where Emma Thompson has figured out that he bought the necklace for his secretary, and she asks him, you know, that you basically made a fool of my whole life. It's incredibly heartbreaking. I mean, that's not a very uplifting Christmas movie, but it's all woven around the Christmas pageant and Liam Neeson's kid playing drums to get the eye of the young girl who's singing. And I mean, and Hugh Grant as the prime minister standing up to Billy Bob Thornton and falling in love with his secretary. Colin Firth learning Portuguese for his for that gal and speaking Portuguese very badly. A lot of fun stuff going on. So Love Actually, that's my number 7.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Love Actually?
Nah.
That's another one that's always on TNT.
Romantic movies. Yeah.
It's like always on TNT.
I think it's a Colin Firth thing for me.
Oh, really? He's not in it that much. He's really kind of it's like a real big supporting cast that They just interweave across each other. And then they tried to do that movie again, movie 49 or movie all these other
Movie
movies they tried to
43?
do. 43, yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
I
They've
only
tried
watched
to
that
do
because it was the Farrelly brothers, though.
Oh. Well, they've tried to do like the same sort of thing as Love Actually with
Yeah.
other
Well,
big
they did
casts, and
with
it just
what,
never worked.
Valentine's Day and
Valentine's
New
Day,
Year's
yeah.
Eve.
New Year's Eve, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it'll never be as good as the original. So anyways, there's my number 7. Jared, we're gonna go to you for your number 7.
I was this close to learning American Sign Language for a girl that I swiped right on for Facebook dating. And then I was like, I should probably wait until she swipes back. That'd probably be a good idea before I dive down a rabbit hole. Don't you think? It's
a good skill to have.
I can do a J.
I used to know the whole C, D, E, F, whatever, the J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Look at that. Look at that. Maybe I might have to take
whole-
some lessons from you, Stephanie.
No. I only learned it from a placemat. I just practiced every day.
So 1984 again, actually, I didn't think I would stick in it. Well, that's kind of cool. Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Shows
I suppose.
Ghostbusters. All the legends that are in Ghostbusters. I mean, obviously ghosts. There's all that fancy CGI in there that it like kind of in its infancy, kind of sort of. The movie is great. I also like that Rick Moranis was in it, and like he turned out to be the hero to everyone outside because he shows up, he's like, I got this, and then he just starts hitting it, and people are thinking he's doing everything while everybody inside is like doing the stuff. And I just think it's cool that Rick Moranis gets to be the hero in the movie who thought he was kind of a nobody in the Ghostbusters thing. And I think it's cool. What's that look for, Dash?
Is it a Christmas movie?
Yeah, it takes place during Christmas. According to IMDb, it takes place during Christmas. I'm almost like 100% sure it does.
Well, there are, like Christmas lights and wreaths and stuff up in the city, and the mayor is talking about the Christmas.
No, I think you're right. I think
festivities.
the party that Rick Moranis where he locks himself out of his apartment is a holiday party, like a holiday party.
Yeah, and then I think
it's eggnog. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm almost like 100% sure IMDb would not lie to me. Almost entirely 100% sure. But okay.
That movie always for me, like the ghosts are great and Zool is awesome. Those dogs or whatever, those ghost dogs are so creepy looking. But the scene that always gets me, I still can't watch it to this day, is the scene where Sigourney Weaver gets like trapped in the chair with the arms coming out. That scene like I've seen chairs that look like that chair and I can't sit in that chair because all I think it's like PTSD from that scene where I'm like, no, I can't.
No buenos. No bueno.
No bueno.
I got you. That's a fair assessment. Really
good. I mean, it's well done filmmaking. If you can give me PTSD, just like Christmas. Bad transition.
How good is the movie? Did it scare the shit out of me?
Yes. Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Dash, where are we at?
I am bringing in my number 6. Stay with me. This movie has the original Shrek in this. Okay. Stay with me.
Okay.
Played by Christopher Walken. One of the most dislikable characters. He pushed Michelle Pfeiffer out of a window. We're talking Max Shrek. We're talking Michael Keaton. We're talking Dana DeVito. This is Batman Returns. I love this movie, especially as a Christmas movie. From what Tim Burton designed, his designs were, I mean, any movie he does is just amazing, but especially the way he saw Gotham with all of the heights and levels and stuff, and how he decorated, especially for Christmas time, I just thought was awesome. And like I said, I would put Christopher Walken's character of Max Shrek up there with Uncle Frank, of characters I just do not like. Almost to where I could probably I could have dealt without him in the movie. Only down thing about it, Batman Returns.
Piper's got to have somebody to take revenge out on.
Yeah.
But I mean, isn't that a good sign of a movie though, when like you can be like, hey, I hate this person that much?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I love Christopher Walken, and especially, I mean, for you to be that versatile, especially to where I'm going, oh my God, I can't stand you. But you're a great actor. Yeah, you
Great
did a good
wig.
job. Yeah. Oh.
Awesome wig work on that one.
And then the kiss between him and Michelle Pfeiffer with the taser. Crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm sorry, I cat suit aside, Michelle Pfeiffer with like the short hair was so hot.
She's fire.
Yeah. Loved it.
I just thought that was the one with the white X's, right? For her cat suit.
They had all the
The
stitching, the
stitching,
white X's.
Yeah, the white. I always found that to be counterintuitive as I got older, you know? Because like it was like it's a all black latex suit, and I get that, like, because you're Catwoman, you're hiding in the shadows. But why would you use white stitches?
I'm trying to remember, was Batman Forever? I'm sorry, not Batman Forever, Batman Returns. Is that before or after Edward Scissorhands? That's after, right?
After, I believe.
After. I always took it as like an homage to Edward Scissorhands because kind of her cat suit looked like Edward Scissorhands to me a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if
that makes sense. That makes sense.
There's a theory that all of Tim Burton's movies take place in the same universe, a la Quentin Tarantino. And they all have kind of similar theme. He's kind of a lonely child. I don't know if that's true or not, but definitely great design.
That'd be kind of cool if it was.
Yeah.
I think so. Big Eyes would be weird in the universe, but Big Fish could possibly be in that same world for sure.
Well, wasn't like Tarantino, wasn't like, what was it? Pulp Fiction was technically a movie in the Tarantino universe that existed.
Something like that.
And it was so like it could have been just a bad movie that wasn't
all sorts of layers. Christmas movies, Tarantino. We were talking about Tarantino's movies all being in the same universe, kind of like Tim Burton's are somewhat in the same universe.
No, well, yeah, like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction are related. Those two movies go together because Michael Madsen's character is cousins or brothers with John Travolta's character.
Right.
They're both Vegas.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Tarantino. All right, Stephanie, what is your number 6?
All right. Well, this is our first repeat on the show for today, but so I'll keep it quick, but it's about a young psychopath that tortures downtrodden burglars known as the Sticky Bandits. This is 90 and 92's Home Alone and Home Alone 2. I mean, yeah, these are great Christmas movies. I mean, I remember watching as a kid. I mean, Macaulay Culkin he's a star from the moment that movie starts, right? Yeah. But if you look back on it now, some of those traps that he makes for those guys, they're hilarious, but man, are they psychopathic. I mean, poor Marv gets his anvil to the face, and he grabs the handle on the door and burns his hand. He gets a gun in his crotch. He gets a nail in his foot. Joe Pesci gets his head burned off. They both get hit in the head with a paint can. I mean, this is an Eli Roth film, just dressed up in Christmas dressing.
Oh man, I need to go back and watch like Hostel or whatever and go try to find the parallels to go. Yeah, Roth is a genius.
I mean, it's hilarious how much grotesque torture we put up with in these movies, but it works so well because you're like, well, they're trying to rob them, so they got it coming. We're gonna burn them with kerosene on a rope.
I mean, if you think about it, kids are the worst psychopaths, like they can pick out like I think it's not John Mulaney. Oh God, who's that comedian that went to rehab? I think it was John Mulaney for cocaine. Yeah. Like he's got that joke how like kids under the age of like 12 can just like immediately he's really worried about his feminine hips, and you're like, dude, you just met me 5 minutes ago. How do you know that about me? So like kids are just evil. Kids are evil.
Hey, real quick, Jared, do you like John Mulaney?
Oh hell yeah.
Isn't he like the greatest?
He is amazing.
He's amazing.
I love his jokes.
Everything like this for a reason. Hi, Mom. Yeah. My mom cannot stand him.
Really?
Oh, really? I'm like, how do you? Oh my God.
He's so funny.
His stories about blacking out. I mean, granted, your disease is so funny. But no, like him at the party drinking the perfume or whatever.
Drink the whole bottom of perfume. No, this isn't.
And it was. Oh
my God.
Sorry.
He's so great, but like
timing is perfect.
Yes.
And he's correct that Kevin McAllister is a psychopath.
Yep.
All right.
Sorry.
So there's that's all right. No, I'm just trying to bring it back into the list. So that was my number 6. So Jared, what's your number 6?
1993's Grumpy Old Men.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
I would, side note, my list of movies, I really focus on them being Christmas centric. And if I knew you guys were going to go like, oh, Christmas is in the movie, this is definitely a movie I would have picked.
Come on now. You know how Jared, we've been doing this show long enough to go.
When we met before, you said
already.
whatever.
It's Christmas
anyways,
movies. All right. How is Jared going to think of this? Oh, like, oh, the calendar said December on it. That's a Christmas movie.
I hate that you guys already have me pinned down. What, two episodes in? That's great.
Wait till we get to the music episode. They played music on the radio. Technically, this is a movie.
Well, I mean, you guys, it's like, oh, we do like two episodes, and you guys already know exactly what we're pinned on. And like, you just said it right now, Stephanie. You're like, I know exactly where Jared's going to go with this. Like, dope. I'm that predictable. That's awesome.
No, I like it. I will say this. This is the one reason I don't want your list before we do the show, because I want to see what Jared's going to come up with. And 2, how many of these movies I've never seen.
Never seen.
And
where are we at?
Your list, Stephanie, I'm like, how obscure can you get sometimes to where I'm like, what?
Yeah, I didn't get obscure this time, but we'll see.
No,
I like how I love how obscure you get, Stephanie. It's so like you just talk about these, and you're like there's a gal that I work with by the name of Christina. I love where because we watch a random movie every week, right? Mm-hmm. And she's just like coming in with these facts that we have no idea about, and that's what I love about your movie picks is that like you're like, hey, check out Ghostbusters from 1984. It's like I've seen Ghostbusters now, and then you're like little quip here, and I'm like, how would you even know that? How do you even know that? That's so dope.
I don't know. I just it's a curse and
so
a blessing.
I think mine is like I don't want to say I'm vanilla, but I'm like
Neapolitan.
I'm a Neapolitan, yeah.
2 flavors of Neapolitan.
Chocolate, vanilla, and pistachio.
That is not Neapolitan.
Yeah, Neapolitan is strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate.
What am I thinking of? Spumante?
They do it different up there in Minnesota.
Spumoni. I'm thinking of spumoni. That's chocolate, vanilla, and pistachio.
I don't do strawberry, so whatever.
Anyways, back to your number 6, which was
Jack LaMont, Grumpy Old Men.
Lemon.
Okay,
sorry,
I try to get fancy.
I won't let you mispronounce that.
Jacques LaMont.
Jacques LaMont. Jack Lemmon. Walter.
Okay.
Mathau. Okay.
Mathau. There you go.
Jack and Walter were fucking legends in this movie.
Of course.
And then of course Anne Margaret, who was at Margaret. It's Margret.
Anne Margaret. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I will not let you mispronounce these ladies.
Okay, so names. Jack,
Lemon,
Walter,
Mathau,
and the stunning Anne
Margaret.
50 years feuding between everybody. The 2 grumpy old men of Jack and Walter, they're totally feuding. And then the beautiful Anne
Margaret
comes in and moves into the neighborhood. She's super hot. I think it's so cool that the 2 of them fight. Again, I just think it's so dope how these are 2 dudes who've been fighting because of a woman. And then of course, what brings them all together is a woman in the end. I think it's absolutely awesome. And to see those 2 at their age, quote unquote, fighting was absolutely hilarious. I think there was the frozen fish that they tried to stab each other with. I thought, the
fish in the car.
Yeah, the fish in the car. That was just
movie
this was Bad Grandpa before Bad Grandpa, So
also filmed in Minnesota.
Go figure.
Yep.
God damn it.
The great Burgess Meredith as Jack Lemmon's father, who is Rocky's coach, and also the original Penguin.
Yeah.
From the Batman TV show, Burgess Meredith.
Weren't we just talking about all of that random fun stuff that she knows, Dash?
My brain is full of shit I don't need.
Now you know why you needed it.
Oh, I'm straight up taking you to trivia night sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Very good at trivia night. Yep.
I got to win me some trivia.
That's the 3rd one on your list now.
You've never seen Grumpy Old Men?
Or nope. I have not.
Okay, I think of all the films that you haven't seen, Godfather notwithstanding, this is definitely one you're gonna love. Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau are so freaking funny in this movie.
I'm a big fan of Walter Matthau and Jacques LaMont.
Jacques LaMont.
That's what it will be now from now on is Jacques LaMont.
Jacques
I mean,
Lemon.
I
Fuck you
can't
guys.
go from now on, but yeah. Why would
Is it a
you
movie
not change your name to that?
Oh my
Just
gosh.
it's a little dash of a pen, just a
Oh,
little dash
just
of a
the
pen, and it
Jacques
becomes fancy.
Lemon.
Jacques.
Jack Lemmon was also in Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe, so he's got a long, long history. And of course, Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon originally became a comedy duo with The Odd Couple. That's what they're also most famous for.
On IMDb, it was amazing to see like their throwback, like the pictures where they were in their prime. Like,
Handsome.
bruh. Yeah,
Mhm.
like now I know why the 50s was so popping. So
If you also like Jacques Lemon, you should see him in 12 Angry Men, which is a very
I almost saw that.
it's a good movie.
I
Really
almost
good
saw it.
movie. Anyways,
Yeah.
more shit from my brain.
No, I love this stuff. It's fucking amazing. It's amazing. It's great. Dash, please, by all means, let's see what else Stephanie has to behold.
We'll see.
Okay, if you have seen this movie, it means so much to me. 4 words: Ving Rhames in drag. My
What?
number 5 movie is Holiday Heart.
Oh
If
no.
you have never seen Holiday Heart, oh, it's such a great movie.
Okay, what's
all
it
right.
about?
So Ving Rhames, and I got to look up something real quick because I'm trying to remember the actress's name.
Anne Margaret.
Alfred Woodard.
Alfred Woodard.
Yes. Plays
Another legend.
this drug addicted mom. She has a kid, and she's like out and about with her dealer and everything. Not the kid, the mom is. And Ving Rhames plays a drag queen. If you don't, do you know who Ving Rhames is, Jared?
No idea.
Did you ever see I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry?
Yeah, I slightly remember it.
Big black dude.
You seen the Mission Impossible movies?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's in
oh,
that.
Yeah.
oh, that
That
okay.
guy.
Yeah, and he was that big too, like muscular, and yeah, he's a big dude in drag. It's an incredible movie, and he is just amazing as a singer in the movie too.
Wow.
And head to toe gowns and wigs and makeup and everything. He
Love
ends
it.
up coming back to his apartment or whatever. The little girl's there, and he like takes the family in and
Aw.
protects them and all this stuff. And yeah, his name is Holiday Heart, and it comes on every Christmas. BT usually has it. Hallmark Channel, I think, plays it too. It is such a
lovely.
great, uplifting. Like, you can be just down in the dumps and you watch this movie, and it makes you want to just go out and just do good. Highly recommend looking that up. Holiday Heart. Just to see the picture of Bing Rhames and drag is amazing. People who are watching the show on YouTube get to see it because that's the thumbnail.
Nice. Oh, that's the thumbnail we're going with? Okay.
Well, that's the thumbnail for like this little.
Oh, I see.
For
I
the
was like,
swipes and everything.
that's the one you're picking for the show. That's interesting.
No. No.
I,
It's like I said, it's a great all
Sounds
around. It's
lovely.
a
Sounds
good
lovely.
holiday movie. No pun intended. It is called Holiday Heart, and it takes place right at Christmas time. And good watch.
you made me think of a movie, Pretty Woman, because there
Mhm.
was a fake Chinese translation of "I will marry a prostitute to save money." I don't because you're like, oh, he takes her in, and like I just don't know why, but it was just like I remember somebody was like, oh, there's that translation of Pretty Woman in a foreign country that was like, I'll marry a prostitute to save money, and I don't know why I thought that was funny, but thank you for giggling at that. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I think this was around the same time like Jacques Lemon was in 12 Angry Men, and he was up for like the Golden Globe or whatever, and Ving Rhames was up for another movie that he did. I'm not making fun of you. I swear I'm not.
It's just Jacques Lemon.
Okay,
Forever and
That's
ever.
what it is from now on, Jacques Lemon.
Jacques
Okay.
Lemon, the great French actor.
Yeah. I think Ving Rhames was up for another movie, and like I said, 12 Angry Men, Jack Lemmon had just done that movie, and Ving Rhames won and was up against like Gary Sinise and
Oh, wow.
all these like great actors and stuff. Ving
What did he
Rhames
win it
won.
for?
I don't remember what he won for. Ving Rhames Golden globe.
He's one of those actors that every time he pops up, like when he pops up in the Mission Impossible movies, I'm like, oh man, where's that guy been? I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff. He used to be kind of big. He was in a lot of movies back in the.
He did Don King Only in America for HBO.
Oh, that's right.
And it was really good.
Yeah,
but
it was really good.
If you've never seen the clip on YouTube, highly recommend it. It'll make you fall in love even more with Ving Rhames. He wins the Golden Globe, gets up there and starts to give a speech, and he's like, thanking all the other nominees and stuff. He's like, Mr. Jack Lemmon, can you come up here, please? And he gives him his Golden Globe, and he's like, you are the reason like I act. He goes, you are the reason I'm up here, and I do what I do because of you. And it was like he was just taken back, and it was like through the rest of his life they were great friends because of this moment, and he was so selfless, and it was I love Ving Rhames so much.
Steph's deep knowledge again. I don't think Jack Lemmon was nominated for 12 Angry Men in that instance. He was nominated for Tuesdays in the Park with Maury.
No, I believe it was 12 Angry Men.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I thought that was earlier. He was in that. Okay. Well, I'll be wrong then.
Sorry.
I mean, there is a thing called Google, you guys.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
we're gonna
Google's the Matrix.
I can't note Steph. We gotta solve it. I don't like.
All right. Let's figure it out.
Stephanie.
What was Jacques Lemmon nominated for with Ving Rhames?
The flight.
This is really good radio.
I know this is great radio. So he was nominated for 12 Angry Men. Says the Googles.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, I just watched the YouTube clip.
I thought he did it when he was young. He did that when he was younger. But he also was nominated at one point for it's like Tuesdays in the Park with Maury or something like that. Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, highly recommend watch that clip. You'll love Ving Rhames even more if you're not a fan.
All righty.
Definitely.
Time for number 5. All right. So this movie is nothing like the one Dash just described. This is a very classic story that's been told many, many times with many, many people playing the lead character. But this will be one of 2 times this story is on my list. You'll understand when I get to the second one. But my first one is the only version of this story that stars Muppets. This is Muppets Christmas Carol. This is such a lovely little movie with Kermit the Frog playing Bob Cratchit. Michael Caine is like in a movie with Muppets, but man, he plays it as serious as a car accident. He is just Michael Caine, and he's so focused. And I love the Muppets playing all these different characters. It's the perfect blend of like, I'm saying like a lot. I gotta stop doing that. It's the perfect blend of scary Jim Henson Studios, like the Dark Crystal and the Black Cauldron, some of those scarier sorts of things, with the delightfulness of the Muppets TV show kind of mixed together. It's a perfect story for Jim Henson Studios to do because of that, right? Because of the scary factor and Michael Caine kind of being scared straight. But it's one of those that I watch like every other year for Christmas whenever I see it on TV. I just love it. I love Muppets Christmas Carol. It's so wonderful. Gonzo as Charles Dickens as being what's his name? Rufus. No, the dog. What's the dog's name? Oh no, my brain. I broke it with all the other crap that I didn't need to remember. But it's lovely. I love it. That's my number 5.
Would you say you like it?
I love it. I want some more of it.
I like how you guys are racking your brains. I'm just like, I have no idea.
I can't remember the dog's name. Rufus? Isn't it Rufus? Like,
let's go to Google here.
Go to Google again.
I love how Beaker and the other character's name, they play like
Bunsen.
Bunsen. Thank you. Bunsen and Beaker play, and then Statler and Waldorf, play the Jacob and Marley, the Marley brothers, trying to scare Michael Caine, and it's just so cute. Such a cute telling. It's Rolf. My second. Rolf plays.
Yeah, no, that was the name of the dog.
Well, that's the dog. Yes, that plays piano, but he's not the character that is the other narrator. I'm trying to remember the name of that character. I can't. I know Rolf. Yeah. Anyways,
you were talking about. You called him Rufus.
I know. I can't remember what I'm talking about. But then, like, Fozzie plays Mr. Fozziewicz instead of Fezziwig, which is the name of the original character. It's adorable. I love the Muppets.
The Muppets, I'd love them.
They're the best. You guys watch any of the new Muppet shows that came out, or the more Muppet movies with like Jason? What's his name? Jason Segel. That Muppet movie. Oh, they're so cute.
My
Such
my
cute
extent of
movies.
Muppets really go, I mean, Dark Crystal and stuff like that aside, like legit, like Kermit and all that stuff, is literally just like the old Muppet Show,
Yeah.
like with John
Great.
Denver and all that, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Is
If
it?
you want, speaking of the Muppets, there's a video of me on YouTube doing my version of the Rainbow Connection. Just shout out, plug to that one.
Where
love
can we
that.
find it?
I love
You can
that
find it
song
on the
so much.
Princess Positive YouTube channel, which is my personal YouTube channel. I did it back last year during the pandemic. I did it for a friend of mine. It's rather lovely,
Nice.
if I say so myself. Gotta have confidence, right?
I'm gonna go watch that here in a second.
All righty.
I can't wait.
We'll put the link in the description. All right. So, Jared, let's get to your number 5.
2001's Legally Blonde.
Oh, interesting. How is this a Christmas movie? I've many years since I've seen it.
Apparently, according to IMDb, it is a Christmas movie. I'm leaving it in for the simple fact that it's on the list. I cannot find a single iota that claims it to be during Christmas, but it's on the list.
I want to say the scene where what's his name? It's not Spencer.
I can't remember most of this movie. It's like
I love Legally Blonde.
I have a scene that makes the movie.
When they
I had to make
break
room for
up,
Burgess Meredith quotes.
where he breaks up with her or whatever, I want to say
Yeah.
there's a Christmas tree in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
So the reason why I'm picking this movie is because there's a scene that actually made it stick out for me. She's walking, I don't remember where she's walking, but she's walking down the road, and there's that really nerdy lawyer guy that's like trying to hit on this one girl, and he's like, "Oh, I called you last night," and she's like, "Yeah, I know, I totally ignored you," and like he's failing heavily. Like I'm surprised that the girl's sticking around talking to him that much, and just like she stops, gets this look on his face, and is like, "I'm gonna give this dude a Christmas present." Walks over, slaps him in the face, and then like berates him, and then I this is the quote from the movie here because I watched the scene. She's like something about a date, and then the greatest pleasure I've ever known, and then just taking it all away after one date. And apparently, the redhead that the lawyer dude's talking to, all of a sudden becomes super interested about hearing his one night their one night stand together. I don't know how any woman is like so like, oh, you did her brains out there. Yeah, I totally want in on that. Like, I don't know how that is a thing, but apparently it is in the Hollywood industry or something. And then of course, because she's like, when do you want to go on a date? You know, it's like, when are you taking me out on the date? And I'm like, what does that ever work? So I think it's kind of funny how it transitioned. Like it was every Hollywood trope
Yeah.
and then I thought it was funny. So
I don't remember much of that movie at all.
I remember
think
she
I'm
brings
okay.
she
got
brings a
great shoes.
notepad. Yeah. She brings the notepad when she's supposed to have like a laptop for notes, and
Mm.
I don't the bend and snap, and then what's her name breaks the UPS guy's nose. That's a love story right there.
Taking the door
I
off.
was like, this is a movie I should have never watched.
Yeah.
Wow. They
Fucking
made
Great
2
movie.
more
though.
of them.
It is a great movie. Taking the dog, dumbass.
If you'd like a Steph fact on that one, Reese Witherspoon said that in her contract for Legally Blonde, she got to keep all of the shoes that she wore on the movie. So she's got an entire closet full of shoes that she wore on that movie.
how dope is that to put in your
It's pretty
contract?
cool. Yeah, that's kind of smart.
Hands down, dope is dope.
Dash.
Yeah.
Number 4.
My number 4, I'm moving some more stuff around here. It's one of those things I keep looking at it to go, I think this will be the last one that I move around, though. My number 4, I say this to myself more and more as I get older. I'm getting too old for this shit. Lethal Weapon
Nice.
is my number 4.
I was waiting for it to come out.
Yeah.
Eggs and Merita.
Yeah.
Do you know the original one or the whole? Or do all of them
No,
take
I'm
place
going-
at Christmas? I can't remember.
They don't.
I didn't think so. I know 4 doesn't.
No,
Or
and see,
3.
that's the best one to me. You're
The Jet Li one
bringing
more?
in Chris Rock and Jet Li into the franchise, and now we're gonna finally get a 5th one, directed by Sir Mel Gibson.
That'll be interesting.
It will be
He's a great director.
Yeah,
Whatever else he is, he's a great director.
Yep. Whatever else he is. Yeah.
He's a great director.
He's a lot of things.
He's a lot of
It's just-
things.
I mean, all in all, it's an incredible 80s movie. The hair, the mullet, the Danny Glover's mustache.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Mullets and
stash.
mustaches. Big
That's
old
our other
guns
podcast.
and,
Most mustaches.
and Gary Busey's teeth.
Oh God, great.
I love that man.
Gary Busey.
Stephanie, you could probably verify this. He's like the most portrayed at, like he's been in the most movies, right?
Gary
Like
Busey.
doesn't he have like the most cameos or something crazy like
Well, I
that?
don't know about cameos, but the actor with probably the most screen credits of all time is the great
Yeah.
Christopher Lee.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if Gary Busey is the most or not.
Because I know like Gary Busey has
lot.
been in a lot of movies.
A lot.
Yeah.
Because he's just nuts and he makes every movie just interesting the minute he shows up.
Can you imagine seeing Point Break without Gary Busey? I couldn't.
I've never seen Point Break.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I hang my head in shame. I want to see it because I want to, represent the chicks
Down to
directing
Utah?
movies. I've never seen it. I know.
Hey.
I know. It's awful. I should see it.
It's
It's
directed
great
by a
Catherine
woman.
Bigelow. It's the great Catherine Bigelow directed that movie.
That's cool.
Who did Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30.
Did not know
Oh.
that.
That hurts me a little
Steph
bit.
facts.
Point Break is like a big action movie.
Dude, even
Yeah.
I've seen Point Break.
Well, I hang my head in shame. I know I should be ashamed of that. I didn't see Die Hard until like 2014. So
What did you do with your life before that?
I was practicing piano and singing and listening to Carole King albums. The great Carole King. You guys know who that is?
No idea.
You should hang your head in shame. She wrote all the songs of the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jared.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
what's your number 4?
Hey, another song with great music. This is from 1964. This is a great claymation classic. Has another great song about a certain little I forgot the scientific name for a reindeer, but I forgot. I'm gonna screw it. I don't care.
Caribou.
Well, no, the scientific name, whatever. There's for a hooved animal. There we go. But this is cute little quadruped. This is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the little elf that wants to be a dentist. I want to be a dentist. The Island of Misfit Toys, Yukon Cornelius, the Abominable Snowman, this whole lovely little tale, and Jack Palance singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's so good. Tinsel. So many songs in this movie are so lovely, and it's a classic. It's an absolute classic, and it should be an absolute classic. So Rudolph, you've seen this one, Dash, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say. And Jared,
You haven't lived. If you haven't seen this movie, things are wrong with you.
you're
Well,
literally blind.
that would be.
Yeah.
See, I think that would be this generation. The older folks we grew up on,
This one,
Rudolph
Jack Frost.
and yeah,
The Heat Miser, all those.
yeah, all that
those
shit.
old claymation. I love
Yeah.
those old.
The original Grinch, like you said, all that kind of stuff. Like that was what we watched. We watched Great Pumpkin, at Halloween. Yeah. And now there's so much
Yeah.
out there. So if
Way
you
too
haven't
much
seen
out
it,
there.
see that shit, y'all.
The Island of Misfit Toys. It's just when you go back and watch it again, it's got it's smarter than it seemed at the
Yeah.
time, right? About misfits coming together and kind of deepening. You didn't think that deepening the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would really be something you could do, but it does kind of deepen the story of Rudolph feeling like a misfit, an outcast in his own home, right? And all these other misfits. That's a lovely story. So
Yep.
there we go. My number 4. Jared, what's your number 4?
So this movie came out the year I was born.
Mm,
It was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
great pick.
It's just you couldn't take Steve Martin and John Candy. You just can't pull like two polar opposite characters and play them off exquisitely well. And
so good.
I love the movie. It's fantastic. It's not your typical Christmas story, but it's great. It's a very good movie. And according to IMDb Pro, there is a project in development for planes, trains, and automobiles. But
Don't do it.
apparently, you
Don't
have
do
to
it.
be subscribed to IMDb Pro to know what's going on.
Don't do
Why are
it.
you shaking your head now?
I'm just telling Hollywood, don't do it. You're
Well, I
never
could
going to
see-
improve
I
upon
can
it.
see it being done like as a series or something, like like a 6 episode,
Okay.
something like that.
Who would you
on-
cast as the Steve Martin and the John Candy character?
Oh, I mean,
John
it
Mulaney.
would have to see. I would
John
see that
Mulaney would work as a Steve
John
Martin
Mulaney
character.
and Nick Kroll together. I mean,
Interesting.
that's gold. Have you ever seen? Oh, Hello on Broadway?
Think about Book of
Their
Mormon?
Broadway show.
Oh
No.
no,
The
I
name of
have
the show
not.
is called Oh, Hello. It's
No, I
Nick
have
Kroll and John Mulaney as older people living in New York, and it's like their story, and it's hilarious. And
Check that out.
yeah, I think it would have to be like a buddy duo. I think.
Okay.
Like, I mean, that was the thing with Steve Martin and John Candy. They were all kind of part of like that Second City kind of group of people. I mean, there you go, Second City, John Mulaney, Nick Kroll. I mean, that's one generation to another of Second City people.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they're just modernizing it and throwing it into a classic vibe of just modernizing it and picking, if they can pick a great cast, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool to see the same story modernized, but like I'm right there with you, Stephanie. Like it has to be a
good.
very specific way done. Otherwise, it kills it for me. So I hardcore feel you on that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Also,
Okay.
it reminds me we did not mention the great John Candy in either one of us bringing up Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
He is my favorite cameo in Home Alone. Is in that polka band. Catherine
Yeah.
O'Hara's got to find her way home and rides in their van as they do polka the whole way. So good.
Man, it's John Candy.
Rest in
The
peace,
legend.
dude. Oh, Uncle Buck.
Dash. Send it
Great
on to number
outdoors.
3, big guy.
The Great Outdoors.
The Great Outdoors.
That
Mhm.
I love that movie. Anyways, my number 3. This is a controversial movie when it comes to Christmas. Some people will say this is the greatest Christmas movie ever. Others will go, it is not a Christmas movie, and I beg to fucking differ. That movie has everything to do with Christmas and everything with blowing up shit and throwing Alan Rickman off a goddamn tower. This is Die Hard.
It's a Christmas movie. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't Christmas. Therefore, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
The reason he's there is because his wife, ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, wants to have him there for Christmas.
Yeah, it's a holiday party at the Nakatomi Plaza.
The Nakatomi Plaza.
Alan Rickman, all the running around, welcome to the party, pal. All the good lines, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Mr. Falcon.
Yeah, come to LA, have a few laughs.
I watched the TV series of that movie, and I cannot believe the colorful language that they came up to interlude with the oh god, like that in and of itself deserves an Emmy nomination right there to go, how can we make this still a good movie for TV?
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Wouldn't you like to see a movie where there's just like a lot of swearing and it's just like totally not made for TV, and then they transfer it on over to TV, and they're like, let's do what we did with Die Hard with this.
Sure, Django Unchained.
Yeah, let's do Django Unchained and
How many ways can you figure out a different word for that other word?
Oh man,
I would watch that. I mean, I love Django, but like, oh, that would just be funny.
I would love
my
that.
Attention.
Yeah.
So I want to beat Stephanie here to the fun fact. When Rickman was dropped out of the window, they said they would do it on 3, but I think they dropped them on 2. Am I right, Stephanie?
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know this fact.
Yeah. So when they dropped him, because they were going to be like 3, 2, and then they dropped him
so
on 2, and so his reaction was genuine fear because they dropped him early.
I just remember that the first time I saw this, I thought that I could see the wire coming out of his pants. They didn't quite hide the wire all the way. But
this was before like CGI could remove it, right?
Well, they could have removed it, but I think
very expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah,
big
blockbuster movies like that. A lot of the funding
blew it all on
pyro.
For
the actors. It was for the pyro and going in and removing stuff. that was
Destroying
so
a helicopter.
expensive.
You know, John Wick, when the puppy takes a poop in the front yard,
Yeah.
apparently that was a pretty penny.
CGI poop.
Yeah, it was a CGI poop.
The most expensive poop one in film.
And it was only on scene for like 3
No.
seconds.
The most expensive poop on film is Henry Cavill's face in the first Justice League.
Yeah.
Don't shit on my man.
I'm not shitting on Henry Cavill. I'm shitting on the studio for that dumb decision. Just give him a mustache, for God's sake.
I think that would have been cool though.
He's dead anyways,
Superman
right?
with
Why
a
couldn't he grow facial hair?
Well, I mean, like, could you imagine that? He's just like Superman with an amazing stash. That would have been kind of cool. That would have been kind of cool.
Hot.
Wouldn't he be though? Didn't the character from that? Do you remember the Comedy Central show Drawn Together?
Yes.
Mhm.
Didn't he have a mustache?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. For
I
like a
wouldn't say that
minute.
that's what he would look like because
Yeah.
he was Superman pretty much with a mustache. I love that. show.
And you're saying it's a bad thing?
No,
No.
not
Okay.
at all.
It was
Making
good.
sure.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. All right, Stephanie, what is your number 3?
All right.
Um,
What?
Oh, no, I thought it was never disregard. Sorry, I lost track. We're good. We're
We're
all
going
right.
off track so many times we forgot where
Yeah.
we were. That's all right. So this is 2 things. This is 1, the second iteration of A Christmas Carol on my list, and 2, it's the second movie starring Bill Murray. This is 88's Scrooged. Have you guys seen this?
Great.
You've seen this,
Never
right?
heard of it.
Oh gosh, it's so okay. So I recently watched it again because I'm like, I watched this so many times when I was a kid. So it's Bill Murray plays this TV executive and the youngest ever president of this TV network. And the studio is trying to put on this live televised version of A Christmas Carol with like Buddy Hackett as Scrooge and Mary Lou Retton as Tiny Tim. It's this ridiculous thing. And Bill Murray's like, no, I know what the people want. And he tries to give them this version of Scrooge that has, you know, drug abuse and guys shooting people and explosions. And it's a film that if you go back and watch it now, it's really ahead of its time, I think, and the commentary on society a little bit, I think. But it's Richard Donner is the director. So the great Superman director, Richard Donner did this one. And to me, when I watched it again, because now that I've watched some more Terry Gilliam films, this very much feels like a Terry Gilliam, Monty Python take on the Christmas Carol. It's got Carol Kane as the who you don't have to know who that is, Jared, but she's a very funny comedian. She plays this weird voice that she talks with all the time, and she's always kind of creepy but also sweet. And then she's punching him in the face and kicking him in the nuts and all the time as she's sending him through our what we know of as kind of the Christmas Carol story. And Bill Murray being a total curmudgeon, and the great Karen Allen, who is Marion from Indiana Jones, plays the gal that Bill Murray is in love with, and she plays like this version of herself later on in the movie that is like a heartless gal that because Bill Murray told her this, you should take care of yourself and not others. She became this hardened shell of a person that doesn't give a crap about the downtrodden. It's a brilliant movie. It looks really cool. It's got Dutch angles and all this fun stuff that Richard Donner did. It's very much a Terry Gilliam kind of feel to the movie. It's brilliant. I can't wait to watch this again, actually, after watching the clips to remind myself. I can't wait to watch this movie again. It's so brilliant. So that's my number 3, Scrooged. I highly recommend it.
That scene of like Christmas future still is so scary.
It's really scary. Yeah. It's a really, really
The
scary
way the Grim
version.
Reaper looked and like all
The
of the faces on the
things.
screens. Yeah. Just, yeah. Carol Kane, you ever seen Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
No, I have not. Is she in that?
Yeah. She's
Then I'm gonna
she's
see
the
it. I love her.
landlord.
Oh God.
She's the landlord. Carol Kane, Princess Bride.
Yes. Yeah, she
She
plays the
plays
witch.
Billy Crystal's wife.
The old lady.
Yeah. Great. Just great actors. Yeah. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Incredible.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. I do
so
love Carol
funny.
Kane.
So funny.
Specifically because of this movie. She's so funny, punching and beating up Bill Murray and giving him what for. It's a great movie. It's so good.
Might have to watch that then.
If you do, I would love to hear your review of it because man, do I love that movie.
Just send it to me in the message thing, and I'm sure I'll watch it this week. And I got plenty of time off. So
Alrighty.
You
Well,
want to-
then let's go to your number 3.
Shazam! His family.
Shazam!
Yeah,
Right,
his
it
family.
does,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is during Christmas. You're right. Shoot, I love this movie.
God, yeah.
Go ahead.
Man.
I'm just reveling in the fact that I picked a good one finally.
What do you mean you picked several
Yeah,
good ones?
yeah, other stuff on here is good, but I just forgot. Like that's a Christmas
It's a
movie.
Christmas. I forgot.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's a DC movie, and I know a lot of people are like really weird about DC movies, but I love the ending where it's family. You know, it's just, like that's kind of the whole story of it.
Bawled. I bawled at the end.
Oh.
Oh,
I just like it's a very good story because like imagine like I could imagine if I was like 14, 15, like the age that kid is, or maybe even 12, and then all of a sudden you're just like Sam, and then all of a sudden you're just this Giga Chad awesome superhero. Like,
mhm.
what would I do at like transforming from a 12, like if we're assuming he's 12 to 15, like I know what I would do if I became, you know, like that, like I'd look like I was 34 with superpowers, you know. I love it because he's like, your phone's charged, your phone's charged, your phone's charged. You know, just all the like I like how they basically are like, what would I do if this had, you know, if I was 14, 15 and then I transferred into like a 35-year-old with superpowers. And I love how they played everything off to the T,
Yeah.
you know? Cause like I remember I remember the scene where they go into like I think it was the 7-Eleven and they buy beer and then just like no. And then they like I just think it's great how they really took the tone of what would you do and played it out. And then of course, you know, family at the end.
Mhm. Mark Strong playing a really kind of scary baddie, and those weird spirit things are a little scary, actually.
They
You
were
can
pretty
imagine
scary.
being a young kid, they would really kind of
Yeah.
freak me out.
I
Great
just
Jaimin Hunsu as the sorcerer.
the guy, yeah, like he's usually not really that good as like he's not usually that scary, but damn, does he get scared? Like I like his entrance too, because he's just like bam, there he is, and you're like, oh, snap, crackle, pop, this shit's for real.
Mhm.
All right, gotcha, home slice, gotcha.
Look forward to the next Shazam movie. God, I really loved that movie.
Who
I
was
think
the,
might be my favorite of all the DC films thus far.
who was the
Personally.
dad in that movie?
Oh, the adopted dad? Oh, I don't know.
No. The
Oh.
real dad of the
Real
bad
dad.
guy.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember. He's like such a great. He played Lex Luthor's dad on Smallville.
Hmm.
You know who I'm talking about?
Like I kind of remember, yeah.
No, I didn't
All-
watch
all I
that
know-
Smallville.
All I know is that Superman, Cavill was in negotiations when they
He
filmed the
was.
final part, and that's why they didn't show Superman from the neck down. It was still pretty good. It was still an accurate representation, which was kind of cool because you could kind of think it was Henry Cavill. But I wish that they would have just like I wish that they could have just put it aside and be like, Cavill, here's $1, just show up in the movie,
Yeah.
and it'd be like. I wish that they could have just put everything aside to be like Superman's like, what's up, Shazam? You know, or what's up, you know, whatever the Billy Batson, like, hey, Billy, how's it going? You know,
Yeah.
I wish they could have just put their differences aside for a little bit of fucking fandom, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I see both sides of it. I'm the bleeding heart. I'm gonna go on the side of the little guy, the actor, being like, no, man, how about you give me a good movie or I don't mope the whole movie as Superman.
Well, like, I mean, that would have given him more power. And I
Sure.
know that's probably what they knew by doing that, because then
Yeah.
he's shown to have like he's Superman. But
Mhm.
like I
I
don't know. I just like that's a whole other story.
I agree.
Thank you, Steph. For you.
Hollywood
you.
deals. So
Oh, that's right. Wrong side. Dash.
here we go.
Number dose.
My number 2 is probably the most memed holiday. Yes, probably the most holiday memed movie that there is. We see it every year. And my absolute favorite line from this movie. I mean, there's so many because I just said my favorite line, and then like all these lines just popped in my head. But it's probably the one that I quote the most is, "Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad." This is Jon Favreau's Elf. I love this movie so much for so many reasons, but I'm going to tie this pick into Stephanie's list. It's because of movies like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that made this movie, I think, as popular as it was. I mean, Will Ferrell can do no wrong in movies during this time. This is Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, all of these movies that he had so much, fame in during that time. This is Jon Favreau pre Iron Man. This is Peter Billingsley also as one of the elves. This is oh Lord, Ed Asner as Santa Claus.
Yep.
John, oh Lord, James Caan as the dad, and Peter Dinklage as well. He's an angry elf.
Angry elf.
Oh.
Zooey Deschanel. Don't forget Zooey
Zooey
Deschanel.
Deschanel. I always forget that she's
Her
in
lovely
that.
voice.
And I think what it is because she's a blonde.
She's blonde.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't look like Zoe at all. Yeah.
Exactly. Her voice when they sing "Baby It's
Beautiful.
Cold Outside," in the shower room is just, it's so good. Her voice, yeah.
That'd be super creepy though in real life.
Oh, it would.
What?
I mean,
Will Ferrell elf or watching her sing in the shower?
yeah, that
No,
part
just
is
like
singing.
if you're
together.
singing in the if you're singing in the shower and then somebody starts duetting with you, even if it was just like me and another dude, because I was in training down in Texas once, right outside of a prison, and we just got done with a really long field day, and I was in the shower on the right hand side, and my lieutenant was in the shower the other side. He's like, "Hey Jared, that was a pretty good day." And I was like, "Lieutenant, like no offense at all, but I'd rather we not talk while we shower, big guy."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, that's fair." I was like, "Look, we're both naked. I can literally turn around and see you. This is awkward, LT." So
Well, I mean, I've never been duetted while in the shower, so I can't tell you what it feels like in real life, but depends. If they're in tune, I probably would enjoy it.
Oh.
Pause,
I don't know.
pause.
That is my
what
number
is
two.
the pause thing?
Just awkward silence.
It's not awkward. We're living in the moment. I mean, because then that means that somebody would have to come into my house and like they would have to want to be there. I mean, that would be pretty special in and of its own. See?
Exactly. My husband tries to duet with me when I'm in the shower. It doesn't work. He's got a lovely voice if he knew what to do with it.
All right, let's stop talking about shower. Can I say I still have all 6 of my honorable mentions here, and
Nice.
I have not been able to like take any off yet. Next, so oh well.
Solid, Dash.
Taking
Solid.
things off. We're talking about showers, so right?
No,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, this is kind of cool because there are now 2 parts that have literally just been mentioned that give away my top 2.
Oh, wow.
All right, well, let's get closer to it. Stephanie, what's
Saying
your
there's
number
a
2?
shower scene in one of your films? Okay.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay. Well, this is, again, more overlap. This is a film that Dash has already mentioned, but this is the appropriate height on the list that I think it should be. This is a movie that came out the year that I was born, which is why I think the movie is so magical. Wow, my confidence today is really annoying. But yes, we did mention it. The leg lamp, oh fudge, Ralph unable to put his arms down, the bully scene, putting your tongue on a pole, you'll shoot your eye out. The Wizard of Oz characters walking around. So you know this movie takes place in 1939 or 1940 when the Wizard of Oz came out and was kind of a craze. But it is a Christmas story. I mean, this is a movie I have to watch every year or it's not Christmas. So I had to put it this high on the list. It's brilliant. And another fun Steph fact here is that the director, Bob Clark, also directed Porky's. That's why the humor is very similar, kind of between the two movies.
I didn't know that. I love Porky's.
It's a great movie.
It was a great 80s movie.
Yep.
Porky's was a great movie.
It's a super great movie. So that's your fun. And also you can stream it on HBO Max. If anybody has HBO Max, you can, once you finish watching The Matrix, you can go and watch A Christmas Story.
I promise you guys I will watch The Matrix before we meet up on Sunday.
I was told I have to wait until we're up at the lake to watch it with the whole family. We're all going to watch Matrix Resurrections on Christmas, which seems weird. It should be an Easter thing, right?
No, that should be something you should watch immediately after this. Just lock that door behind you and don't let them in. That's how I would do it.
I have to watch it with them because they made me promise that I would do it. So, oh well. But anyways, number 2, Christmas Story, easy peasy. Oh fudge. Let's go to Jared for your number 2.
Well, my number 2. So we'll get this right out of the way. There's a scene where Ryan Gosling is in his suit and he's just sitting in a bathtub full of water, contemplating his existence. Now, I have done the exact same thing where I've had a really, really bad day,
Mhm.
unfolded my shower chair, put my shower chair in the shower, and just sat fully clothed and sat and pondered existence. The movie really resonated with me. It was nice. And then, of course, you have Russell Crowe, who likes to fight around the world,
Oh, I know what this is.
for 2016's The Nice Guys.
I love this movie.
This movie was great.
Ah,
It technically does take place around Christmas. Again, technicalities. It takes place in 1977, which is totally dope.
mhm.
So two private eyes, try to find out who killed the porn star Misty Mountains,
Misty
and then
Mountains.
hilarity ensues. I just it just hit me because like Russell Crowe, like I think he was not really big at that time, but
That
then like
downslope,
he
yeah.
he kind of just like punched in with that, and it was really dialed in. How it was like a super buddy cop movie, and of course it's 1977, and the porn star that they're looking for is named Misty Mountains. Like, come on, that's
Which to a Lord of the Rings fan is a very funny name. That's the mountain range you're trying to cross. That's where Moria is. Dash. You'd know
Yeah,
that if you liked that movie.
I know. I mean, like, I was the one who was like, "What, Missy Mountains?" I haven't seen The Nice Guys either, so
Oh, it's
It-
really
yeah,
good. The
uh,
bathroom scene. Oh, the bathroom scene's so funny.
it was hilarious because I walked in to see the movie with a buddy of mine, and there was like a stack of posters for it like this high, and I just looked at the cashier and I go, "I'm taking this," and so I took the poster, and he's like, "Okay," and so for like 5 years, I had a poster of The Nice Guys just hanging up in my kitchen for a number of years. I finally just took it down because it's like that's been up there for long enough. So
A criminally underappreciated movie. Shane Black, I believe, is the director of that movie, if I remember correctly. But did not do well at the box office. Criminally
no,
so. Man, that movie's so good.
like
the
they
only
played. Sorry,
go ahead.
Dash.
Go
No,
ahead.
go.
I was going to say I did not see the movie, but I remember the promos on Kimmel of
Mhm.
Ryan Gosling coming on, and what was it? Ryan Gosling and Will Ferrell, and they played the Knife Guys. Yeah, they go watch that. That shit is hilarious. I don't know why
I
Will
haven't seen
Ferrell was
it.
on there, but it was every single time Will Ferrell was on there, Ryan Gosling would come on, and they would play the Knife Guys. And it
Oh, the
just
Knife Guys, the commercial.
yes, and
Yes.
it
Oh, yes,
one
yes,
the
yes.
second time they did it, it happened to coincide with the movie with Russell Crowe and everything. But yeah, they were playing the Knife Guys,
The Knife
and
Guys.
it's so
So
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It was fantastic. I can't take away from it. So Dash, what is your draw two card, or what are your honorable mentions? Good sir?
Okay. Deep
Only
breath
one,
in.
please.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 honorable mentions on here, but I'll finish up with my main one to go with. First off, I've mentioned this on other shows we've done before. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a great holiday movie. Really has very little to do with Christmas, other than there's a Christmas party. Yada yada yada. Miracle on 34th Street, probably one of the sweetest movies you'll ever see. The
Either
Santa
one.
Claus with Tim Allen, just great family fun. Giving a call back to Steph here, but a different version of it. One with Jim Carrey, the Grinch. His voice is just outstanding for somebody who kind of shouldn't sing. He's so
Not
comedy
bad.
gold. Rocky IV, another good holiday movie, but I'm gonna finish out my honorable mentions with Trading Places. Eddie Murphy
Oh.
and Dan Aykroyd. Jamie Lee Curtis, hot Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, that is my honorable mention. Trading Places. Steph, what about you?
All right. So I had a few honorable mentions as well that I'll just quickly mention. One is The Night Before, which I definitely need to see. The Ref is considered a Christmas movie with oh God, Dennis Leary. That's considered kind of Christmas. It happens around Christmas time. The Polar Express, which nobody's mentioned yet, with that weird kind of uncanny valley of Tom Hanks as the conductor of that cool train. I do have Miracle on 34th Street, but the original Miracle on 34th Street, there's also the one with Richard Attenborough, which is also very good. Sir Richard Attenborough. But the one that I'm going to pick as my honorable mention stars legends yet again, Mr. Bing Crosby and Mr. Fred Astaire. This is 1942's Holiday Inn. It's a classic. I mean, if you ever want to see what people are talking about with Fred Astaire, like people say, oh, he moves like Fred Astaire. Watch Holiday Inn. He's so smooth. He's so unbelievably smooth. And the plot's, I mean, not a whole lot to it, but it's a great old classic, and you get to see like that old style of filmmaking and Fred Astaire's wonderful choreography, and Bing Crosby. I mean, Bing Crosby is a lovely old gentleman. He always classes up the joint, whatever he's in. So Holiday Inn, that's my honorable mention pick. You guys ever seen Holiday Inn?
No.
Oh,
Well, if you ever
even
feeling a
as
little
dancer,
like,
yeah, sorry.
I can't believe you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
Dash. Wow.
Sorry.
That's all right. But
Yeah. And I like old movies too. I love Fred Astaire. Love Bing Crosby.
The only one better than Fred Astaire was Ginger Rogers, because she did
Rogers.
it backwards and in heels.
There you go.
Yep. So
I don't get
Jared,
that reference, but I would like to know it.
well,
Dancers.
because Fred
Memory.
Astaire and Ginger Rogers were partners, right? Fred
Yeah.
Astaire was always leading. Ginger Rogers was always going whichever way Fred was leading. She was having to go backwards, right? So she's doing everything Fred is doing backwards and in heels.
Yep.
So that's always the joke about Ginger Rogers. Anyways.
Well, I'm calling it technical foul for swearing. And we're going with 8 Crazy Nights.
Oh,
by
nice.
Adam Sandler. That is my it just for Adam Sandler, for me, like, he is hit and miss. Like, it's either he's on point or this is criminal that somebody greenlit this, you know.
Yeah.
I just
ridiculous.
I like how well he plays just a drunkard in the movie, and then the referee that just kind of helps him out throughout the whole thing, just very sweet gentleman, you know. And I can't get over it. I just can't get over it.
Great movie.
I know.
It's the best Hanukkah movie other than the Hebrew Hammer.
The Hebrew Hammer.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Hebrew Hammer? It's
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. Movie with
superhero movie
with what's his name?
I can't remember his name.
No,
anyways, back to 8 Crazy Nights.
Guy.
No, I've seen the Hebrew Hammer. I have seen it. Yeah, Comedy Central. No, I just think it's like it's an Adam Sandler movie that, like, I just feel like he did it correctly. You know, like, it was just one of those movies where, like, this was done very well by somebody who you didn't think could pull it off. You know, so honorable mention.
I think too, it was done at a good time for Adam Sandler. He wasn't doing the voices anymore. He was now into you play with your cock and balls, like, voice that he used all throughout that movie.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, they're all gonna laugh at you. Yeah. And then, like, that kind of, there was no more like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler. He had moved up into, like, I think what Punch Drunk Love had already happened. So he was already, dabbling in drama too, but he had stopped with, like, the goofy voices and polished that goofy voice.
That's like Jim Brewer, you know.
Yeah.
Or the Goat Man. Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry, that was dumb.
Remember the 80s?
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that's so cool when you can transition from something that you're known into something that's also very well, that you can just, I have range. And it's nice to watch those people that have range and transition.
Like,
speaking
Colin Quinn and Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Comedic actors, man. They're good dramatic actors.
Yeah.
And speaking of transitions, Dash, what's your Uno card?
My number one holiday movie. My second Tim Burton movie.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
No fucking way. Do we have a tie?
We may.
Do we have a tie for number one? Stephanie's getting pissed. Okay, I'm going to count it down, and you guys are going to say your number one movies at the same time.
1, 2, 3, and then say
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, go. And then on go, you guys say it at the same time. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, shit.
I was like, you son of a bitch. If you steal mine. Okay, go ahead. Edward Scissorhands.
My number one pick,
you're right.
Edward Scissorhands. It's a Christmas movie. It's a movie that's heavily involved in Christmas too.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
But we forget about it because we're so enthralled with this story of him. If I'm not mistaken, the last movie of Vincent Price.
You're very correct. Yep. Or one of the last, yeah.
The score is breathtaking.
Beautiful.
And every single time I think about it, I don't think of him cutting the hedges or the hair. I think more than anything of Winona Ryder in the snow, and it is, it's an emotional movie for me. I love Tim Burton so much. He's not one of my favorite directors, but he's such a magical director. The places that he can transport you, whether you're talking about, Stephanie's number one pick that's going to come that nobody knows, or you're talking about movies like Batman Returns or even Caroline.
Coraline?
Coraline, yeah, sorry.
He didn't direct Coraline.
He didn't?
Sorry. Nope. We'll talk about that in a second, actually.
Did he produce it?
He may have
had
produced
his hands
it.
on it. Someone, but it's like
We'll
Frank
talk about
and
it in a
Weenie.
sec.
Yeah.
Frank and Weenie, he did. Yep.
Okay.
Big
Corpse
Fish?
Bride is what I'm thinking.
Corpse Bride. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, not Coraline. Yeah, sorry. I'll edit that. But it's like, it's not a movie that you're watching, if that makes sense when it comes to a Tim Burton movie. Like, you forget sometimes that you're watching something on screen, and he does a really good job of making you feel encompassed in a part of the story. And that's something that is very rare in directors and actors, that they're able to do that and kind of transport you into their world. And so, yeah, that's the biggest reason Edward Scissorhands is my number one holiday Christmas movie. Yeah, peak Johnny Depp for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got so excited for a second there.
I did too. I was like, oh, this is the first.
That would have been really funny. And actually, we'll talk about, technically speaking, my movie is not fully a Tim Burton directed film. So
yeah, that's a Tim Burton movie. I'm sorry. Stephanie,
Well-
tell us about your number one.
Well, we already spoiled it a little bit, so I will just regale you with my favorite part of this entire thing, which is the lovely and talented Danny Elfman's voice singing throughout. My favorite song that always gets me in the Christmas mood. What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair. What's this?
Yeah.
It's the thing that always gets me into the holiday spirit is that song. This is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Technically speaking, though, Tim Burton wrote the story, but he did not direct the film. And it's funny you mentioned Coraline, because this actually is directed by Henry Selick, who did direct Coraline and also James and the Giant Peach and Monkey Bone, some other great animated movies. That's a great movie, isn't it? Yeah, it's a great movie. So Henry Selick actually is the one that directed it. But you're correct. Tim Burton did write the story and the screenplay. Excuse me. All that singing. All that singing got me a little verklempt. But another great Catherine O'Hara role, because Catherine O'Hara voices Sally. And just the music throughout. Some people debate whether it's a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. It's absolutely a Christmas movie. Santa Claus is a prominent character. Oogie Boogie is an incredibly scary villain, but it's really about Jack discovering the spirit of Christmas. And that's not to kidnap Christmas for yourself. It's about what Christmas is, love. And sometimes you're just not right to do Christmas, right? You're just kind of a little too goth. But it's a very Tim Burton story in the fact of, Edward Scissorhands is a very lonely boy. If you go back and read the history of Tim Burton, there's a great honest trailer for all of Tim Burton's films where they really point out that the story is about a lonely boy kind of feeling like an outcast all the time. And very much Tim Burton was that growing up. He has kind of a sad childhood that he channeled into his movies, but Jack feels like an outcast in his own Halloween town. He's great at Halloween, but he's like, I need something else. He has this existential crisis. And then wrapped around that is this amazing music by Danny Elfman singing and composing. I don't know what else I have to say about that, except I looked everywhere. I looked behind the Cyclops eye. I did, and it wasn't there. Sister and I can go back and forth over and over and over again doing lines from this movie. So it's my number one Christmas movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry for calling you a son of a bitch, Dash. All right, Jared, what's your number one?
You and your mom are hillbillies. This is a house of learned doctors. You can call me Dragon, but you have to call me Nighthawk. Yeah. No, what?
Nope.
You
Don't
don't
know what movie this is.
Yeah, that's what
Step Brothers.
Oh,
Step Brothers?
Oh,
never seen
yeah.
Step
No.
Brothers.
No, yeah.
Ah. I love Step Brothers just because it it it's so outlandish and it's so crazy because like everything centers basically around Christmas the entire time. You know, like even when they fast forwarded, like it's just so awesome how just everything is around Christmas, and it's just Will Ferrell and oh god, I should John C. Reilly.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Just they are just so phenomenal as
John
just
C. Reilly.
Raleigh. It's just they're great. I love them in this movie. They're just so over the fucking top. I love it. I love it to death. They're just
yeah.
I can't.
Someday I'll see it.
That did you like Talladega Nights?
Someday I'll see it. I have a problem with Will Ferrell comedies. You mentioned Elf. I didn't want to burst your bubble, but I've only watched Elf once, and I don't know. Something about Will Ferrell movies. The first time I watched them, like Anchorman's the same way. The first time I watch a film, I'm like, this is so dumb. And then when I go back and watch it again, I'm like, oh, it's a good line. Oh, it's a good line. Oh, it's a good line. Anchorman's like that for me. I love old school. Old school, I loved the first time. That's not a majority Will Ferrell movie.
No, Will Ferrell's kind of in it.
Wilson.
I look at that's
The
a
Luke
that's
Wilson and
a
Vince Vaughn.
that's a third movie. That's a 1/3 Luke Wilson, 1/3 Vince Vaughn, 1/3 Frank the Tank.
But the right level of Ferrell for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I did love him in what was the one where Emma Thompson was going to write his death? What's that movie called?
Stranger Than Fiction.
Stranger Than Fiction. I like him
Great
in that
movie. Well, see, that was kind of like it was a little bit of both, little drama, little comedy. Oh, that hurts so too.
I'm sorry, I don't want to say
Talladega
it.
Nights, we're Step Brothers.
Well, like, because like it goes back to what I was saying with Hot Rod. You know, like I'm kind of the same way. A lot of these movies, like with Will Ferrell, I can really only watch it once because it hits me where I'm like this. It was fucking hilarious the first time around. Like I laughed my nuts off, but then I get to the second viewing and I'm just like, that's a little cringe. That's a little bad, you know, like because I know what's coming. I know the setup. I know the punchlines. So.
And I'm exactly the opposite. Like the first time I'm like, oh, cringe. This is so bad. And then I watch it again and I'm like, oh, that's a good line. That's a good line. That's a good line.
Which is weird because I can listen to some comedy albums like all the time, which is weird. Like I don't understand it. Like who is it?
Mulaney.
Not Mulaney. I think it's oh god, he's in
Dave
Letterkenny.
Chappelle's Killing Him Softly.
He's in Letterkenny.
A good special.
That's another good one.
That is a great special. I forget who it is, but there's a very specific joke that just always gets me, and I can say it verbatim in my head, but I have to hear the comedian say it because it's so funny the way he puts it.
So that's who I am with Joe Rogan's first comedy album. We're All Gonna Die Someday. I can like word for word that whole show. I've listened to it so many times.
He's got like a very different style of comedy though.
He does, and I love it.
Speaking of comedy albums, They're All Gonna Laugh at You by Adam Sandler is one I listened to on repeat when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Food innuendo guy.
Don't worry, I was right there with you. Every Adam Sandler comedy album, it was always in the CD.
What was it? The line where like he's burying Brennan, or is it Brennan?
Yeah, Brennan is burying.
Brennan is. Oh, which is which?
Brennan is no, I think Brennan is Will Ferrell, and then I forget who John C. Reilly is.
He's Dale.
But yeah, Dale.
Yeah, Brennan was Dale. When Will Ferrell was burying John C. Reilly, he's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm burying you." Like the way he says it is just so hilarious, and it's one of the best blooper reels too. Oh,
like why? Because it has to be done.
Yeah. Adam Scott is his brother, and them singing "Sweet Child of Mine" in the car, and him telling his wife that she's flat or whatever. Oh, it's hilarious.
You remember when he goes up in the treehouse and he lifts his shirt and it's just some random dude stand dabs and it's totally not real. Like they just had some stunt guy. God, that was hilarious.
Probably the best line though to encapsulate that movie is the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The Catalina wine mixer.
Tan, you gotta see it, Steph. That's a great fucking movie.
Alrighty.
Because like you with Will Ferrell, he joins his brothers, doesn't it? Yeah, wasn't it Will Ferrell that joins the law firm and kind of like takes over or the event thing, or is it
Yeah,
John C. Reilly?
they sell helicopters or whatever. Adam Scott plays Will Ferrell's brother, and then he's like trying to move his way up or whatever. He's like,
But there's a scene that I think Stephanie might like because one of the guys, he's known for kind of the comedy. He's like, "There's just something about your face. I don't like anything. Like it just makes me want to punch it, just like so hard." And Will Ferrell's like, "I will try to do something about that." It's just like
boats and hoes,
belts and hose.
Oh,
so I'm sorry. I like Steph. Yeah, she's muted herself because she has no idea what's going on.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Well, that sounds hilarious.
I know. We'll stop. We'll stop.
Oh, you didn't go as long as you want. That's what she said.
Let's wrap it up.
Also what she said.
All right. Well, I have been Jared, the host of this amazing 5th or 6th episode that we're doing.
Those.
One of the numbers because I can even keep track of my own. So I've been Jared.
Way off. This is like number 18.
This is whatever. The ones I've been in. The ones I've been in, sir. But I've been Jared.
Well, hey, we got to remember again to ask people to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on all our podcast channels and all those things.
Can I get to it?
No.
Remember,
sir.
withhold those Christmas presents. Withhold those Christmas presents till they subscribe to our channel. We need to hit 100 by the 1st of January, or I promise bad things might happen.
This
bad
invisible puppy will be dead.
Visible puppy. Like, comment, subscribe, watch Level Up, watch the newsreel, watch Dash when he does his wrestling stuff. We got everything coming out. We've got shit coming out our ears. So
that's a medical condition.
I know.
Yeah.
So I have been Jared.
I have been Jacques Lamont.
I have been Walter Matthau.
And we are SNH Podcast. We will see you guys on the next episode on Monday.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, that was a weird fucking episode.
Okay.
Last episode.